Hello, Wildcats. I was wrong. I thought Mark Stoops might not be around for long. But the guy wants to turn things around. Let's analyze this. And who would have thought that Mark Stoops, a coach who has been questioned so many times in recent years, would be the main driver of this transformation now? At least in his attitudes. He, who was once an easy target for scathing criticism, now emerges as a quiet surprise amidst the tumultuous scenario of college football. The 2024 season was a punch in the gut for Kentucky fans, and for Stoops too. A campaign of just 4 wins, the worst since his first year leading the Wildcats in 2013, exposed all the flaws of a program that seemed to have lost its compass. The roster was talented, but unmotivated. The culture that Stoops had built over more than a decade seemed to evaporate before his fans' eyes. The height of disappointment came in the humiliating loss to Louisville, a 41-14 setback that rang like a fire alarm within the program. It was time to change or perish. What many didn't expect, however, was Mark Stoops' visceral reaction. Instead of hiding behind excuses or blaming circumstances, he faced the failure head-on. "I'm not so hard-headed that I don't try to embrace any challenge," Stoops said in a candid and emotional interview with KSR. It was a revealing, almost unexpected moment for a coach who has often been seen as reserved. Yet here he was, vulnerable, taking responsibility and promising radical change. And Stoops didn't just talk, he walked the walk. The 2025 offseason brought a complete cleanup of both the roster and the coaching staff. Anyone who showed complacency or lack of commitment was cut without hesitation. Stoops made it clear, "This is not a program that tolerates mediocrity. You can take it or leave it, but I've never been as motivated as I am right now. If you know anything about me, I don't like to be beaten," he said, with an intensity that reflects the weight of the moment. That simple, direct sentence sums up everything Stoops represents in this new chapter. A wounded leader, yes, but determined to restore the dignity of the program. The results of this internal revolution are already beginning to show. Stoops, his throat choked with emotion, spoke about the new roster that is being molded under his leadership. These are not just more talented players, but men with a different mentality. A group willing to work, to sweat, to fight for the right reasons. "We have to improve strategically and put them in a position to be successful, but that comes with building a roster," he explained. "We did that." His words carry a tone of conviction that has not been seen in Lexington for a long time. But perhaps the most impressive aspect of all this is the way Stoops is handling the pressure. Many coaches, after such a disastrous season, would have quit or been fired. Yet Stoops has chosen to stay and fight. He knows that the future of Kentucky football depends on his ability to rekindle the spark that once lit the glory years of 2018 and 2021. "I love this place. I've been here 12 years, going on 13, and I promise you, I'll be honest with you, I'm emotional right now talking about this because my ass wants to get back in the office and work to make this team better," he declared with a passion that spills over into words. Critics may continue to doubt him. There may be skepticism about Stoops' ability to rebuild the program, especially in a conference as competitive as the SEC. But perhaps that's exactly why he'll succeed. Stoops has always thrived under pressure, always found ways to prove his detractors wrong. He doesn't promise perfection in 2025, but he does promise something even more valuable. A team that will fight tooth and nail, that will honor the BBN. There's something deeply human about watching a veteran coach, with more than a decade of service, rediscover his passion and purpose. Mark Stoops isn't just trying to save his career. He's trying to save something bigger, the soul of a program that means so much to so many people. And in doing so, he may just prove that there's still room for old-school values in the modern world of college football. Whatever the final outcome of the 2025 season, one thing is certain: Mark Stoops won't just be remembered as the coach who faced tough times, but as the one who had the courage to rebuild when everyone expected him to fall. And I want to hear from you later. But first, is this right or wrong in basketball? Let's analyze it. While the individual talent of its players continues to shine at the national level, some decisions in the SEC awards leave room for questions about how collective contributions are perceived outside the four lines of the Rupp Arena court. The highlight was Otega Oweh, who secured his place on the All-SEC second team, consolidating himself as one of the team's great pillars this season. Oweh, whose debut in Lexington was marked by impressive numbers, demonstrated maturity and versatility over the months, fully justifying the recognition he received. With consistent averages of 16.2 points, 4.6 rebounds, 1.6 assists and 1.5 steals per game, the point guard proved to be more than just an offensive player. His ability to impact defensively and create opportunities for his teammates turned him into a quiet leader within a roster full of talent. The trust that Mark Pope has placed in Oweh since the beginning of the season has proven to be a game-changer. And the young athlete has responded in kind, raising his performance level at crucial moments. On the other hand, the absence of Amari Williams from both the All-SEC and SEC All-Defensive team lists has raised eyebrows among analysts and fans. Williams, who has quickly established himself as a key player in Pope's system, has put up numbers that reflect his importance within the team. 11.0 points, 8.7 rebounds, 3.1 assists and 1.3 blocks in just over 22 minutes per game. His averages, especially when adjusted for court time, place him as one of the most efficient centers in the conference. A direct comparison with Auburn's Johnny Broome points to a clear injustice, since both have shown similar performances in terms of defensive impact and dominant presence near the basket. Furthermore, the case of Lamont Butler amplifies the feeling that something went unnoticed by SEC voters. Butler, who arrived at Kentucky after winning 2 consecutive Mountain West Conference Defensive Player of the Year titles, has not only maintained his level of performance but has also improved in several areas. His averages of 11.9 points, 4.4 assists, 2.9 rebounds, and 1.7 steals highlight his versatility while leading the transition offense and anchoring the Wildcats' defense. Despite this, no individual awards have come his way, which can be interpreted as a reflection of the widespread underestimation of the collective work done by the group. Still, it is impossible to deny the progress the program has made under Mark Pope's leadership. While individual awards bring prestige and visibility, Kentucky's true value lies in its philosophy of play, which prioritizes the continuous development of its athletes and the construction of a solid identity within one of the most competitive environments in American college basketball. The coach has been tireless in emphasizing the importance of a collaborative environment, where each player understands their role and seeks to maximize it for the benefit of the team. Looking back on the regular season, it is clear that Kentucky basketball has built a positive narrative, even in the face of adversity imposed by the lack of external recognition. Otega Oweh's inclusion in the All-SEC second team is a significant milestone, but it serves only as a starting point for a larger project. The Wildcats continue to polish gems like Amari Williams and Lamont Butler, who, although overlooked by the honors, remain fundamental to the team's future success. Now, with the playoffs just around the corner, it is up to Mark Pope and his team to turn this perception of injustice into fuel to pursue even greater glory. Either way, let's move on. Leave your comment.